This video was made to review and criticize the material in it, and is not intended to be a substitute for the original work. I do not own the material or any part of the show in this video. Please support HBO by watching the full episode and show on HBO or any other platform that legally streams it. Links to the official sites are available in the description box below. This video is intended to fall under the general guidelines of fair use and is edited as to not compete with the original work. As an aspiring writer and artist, my goal is to comment, review, criticize and learn from the work. Thank you for understanding.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
Welcome to Watcher, a channel where I react to series, shows and movies. But before we begin, please don't leave any spoilers in the comment section. I'd greatly appreciate it. And most importantly, thank you for the support and for joining me on this adventure. We've barely began, but what a ride it's been so far. And if you're new here, please subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed the content. I've decided that I would like to get to know you guys better. Yes, everyone who's watching me at this moment. I have a couple of questions for you and I'd like to hear your answers. Try to remember when you were where I am in the show, meaning around episode 6 or 7 or so, who were your top 3 characters? And why? Don't go further than episode 6 or 7 though. And don't tell me how that changed, cause that might include some spoilers. And secondly, does any one of you write your own story? Maybe even fantasy epic? As I said, I'd love to hear your answers. Now here are the reviewing points I will be taking a look at when I watch the episode. You'll see them somewhere here on the screen. And as always, I just have to remind everyone that I have a taste that usually goes against that of the majority. There is a high chance that I will love what you hate and dislike what you like, so be prepared for that. Let's talk about the previous episode for a bit and what my predictions for this one are. I wonder if we will have to deal with the consequences of the last episode's decision making. I hope we will. I want to know what one of the richest people in Tywin Lannister is all about. By observing his children, he must be quite, let's call it menacing. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was portrayed as the total opposite of that. Either way, I can't wait to find out what he's about. What's his next move? How will he counter Ned? And I actually doubt that the Mountain will get caught. He would probably rather go down in combat, fighting till the end, rather than surrendering and then get the ultimate punishment. That dude with those 100 men will probably not come back. The problem between the Lannisters and the Starks is the plotline that interests me the most at this immediate time. But it would be nice to see how things are going at the Wall. Some Sam wouldn't hurt anyone. As for my predictions, if people can demand a trial by combat, wouldn't that be what the Mountain would choose? Or maybe even Tywin Lannister nominating Jaime? Let's just say that I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Another way in which one can abuse the system. The most powerful person might not actually be the king, but someone who knows everything about how things work and who possesses the intellectual capacity to find holes in the system and to use that to their advantage. Tyrion seems to be someone like that, although he's too hedonistic to be sneaky in a bad way. Lord Baelish and Varys are also very knowledgeable. I wonder if there's someone else who's even more cunning and above them in sneakiness. Maybe Tywin Lannister? We'll see. Anyway, I've spoken enough. Let's watch the 7th episode of Game of Thrones. Oh, that's right. Viserys is gone. I enjoyed him as a character. He was funny, but irritating. Are we preparing for war?
Answer for the crimes of your bannerman, Gregor Clegane, the Mountain. Poor Ned Stark. Brave man, terrible judgment.
How come?
Attacking him was stupid.
Agree. Jaime is quite arrogant as a person.
Go on, say something clever.
Is that Tywin Lannister?
A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of a sheep.
We've heard that quote before.
I'm giving you half of our forces. Remind her that Lannisters pay their debts.
I didn't realize you placed such a high value on my brother's life.
He's a Lannister. And every day that he remains a prisoner, the less our name commands respect.
So the lion does concern himself with the opinions of...
that's not an opinion, it's a fact.
This is interesting. This conversation is quite interesting between the two. It began with that dude, I don't know if it's Tywin Lannister or someone else, accusing Jaime of some stuff. It turns out that this dude might actually be projecting himself onto Jaime, because what he's accusing Jaime of being and doing, like telling him that lions aren't concerned with the opinions of sheep, well, he seems to be the one concerned about the opinion of sheep. But it looks like Jaime will come out of the conversation as the more calm and collected one. We'll see.
Served as a glorified bodyguard for 2 kings.
What do you suggest?
The future of our family will be determined in these next few months. We could establish a dynasty that will last 1,000
He seems
years.
power hungry.
I need you to become the man you were always meant to be.
Meaning the king maybe? I like the red color though, with that contrasting gold. Jaime is conflicted. What do you want now? She's so confusing.
I know the truth John Arryn died for.
My brother's worth 1,000 of your friend.
Your brother? Or your lover?
Ooh.
My son saw you with him.
Wow, things are escalating. Is that a confirmation?
Do you love your children?
With all my heart.
No more than I love mine.
And they're all Jaime's.
Wow.
I'll tell him the truth. You must be gone by then. You and your children. Far
Wait,
away as you
wait,
can,
Ned.
With as many men as you can.
Ned is like that character who always tells his moves. Don't reveal everything. They will plot against you. Don't you know who you are dealing with? Come on, it's the Lannisters. Ned is starting to frustrate me. Keep your moves to yourself. I know it's not the honorable way, but come on. You want to save the kingdom or what? You need to see the bigger picture sometimes.
Jaime told me about the day King's Landing fell. He was sitting in the Iron Throne and you made him give it up. All you needed to do was climb the steps yourself. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
The Game of Thrones, you win or die. That was the title of the episode, if I'm not mistaken. Don't they ever get tired of this?
You be the man, and you be the woman.
What is he, a director of adult films? Lord Baelish. You should join them. Will this lead to something bigger, or is this just some fan service, as they call it?
I'm not
What's
going
your
to
game?
fight them. I'm going to fuck them. That's what I know, and only by admitting what we are can we get what we want.
True.
What do you want?
Oh,
What do you
everything,
want?
my dear.
And what's that supposed to mean? What do you mean when you say everything? Do you want to be king? What was that?
There's no rider.
A horse? Yeah. Without a rider. Don't tell me. Uncle Benjen better be alive. Man, I'm cold just looking at that place.
That's my Uncle Benjen's horse.
Oh no.
Where's my uncle?
Please don't tell me.
Ned! We were hunting a bull.
That sounded fishy.
I was never meant to be a father.
What were you meant to be? You were not meant to be a king, you were not meant to be a father. What are you, Robert? A philosopher? A thinker? A drunk?
You don't want to see this.
Joffrey with them daddy issues. What are we going? Oh. Is that how you will go, Robert?
Out, all of you!
If he dies, I will miss him. If he dies, the kingdom is gone.
I don't want to say.
Alright.
In the name of Robert, of the House Baratheon.
Okay.
First of... You know how it goes. Fill in the damn titles.
Them damn
At my
titles.
command. Eddard.
Of House Stark.
Titles. To serve as Lord Regent and Protector of the Realm upon my death. To rule in my stead. Until my son Joffrey comes of age.
About that, King. I guess he won't say anything. So he's dying.
The girl.
What girl?
Daenerys.
Have you changed your mind?
Let her live. Whatever arrangements you made
Or to be cancelled?
at once.
I'm afraid those birds have flown.
Look at him.
Dead already.
That Varys guy always has a smile on his face.
Forgive me, Khaleesi, but your ancestor, Aegon the Conqueror, didn't seize 6 of the kingdoms because they were his right. He had no right to them. He seized them because he could.
She is so naive.
Well, I'll come with you.
No, don't trouble yourself. Enjoy the market.
He's acting a bit strange. Like a spy. For the kingdom. Or someone else.
The spider sends his greetings and his congratulations.
Varys.
A royal pardon. You can go home now.
You honor me, sir.
The honor.
Something's going on. The way Jorah is looking at them. Was he trying to kill her? Was that the assassin? Will someone drink that and die? Well, I will get the answer. What is he thinking about?
I'm afraid I am not worthy of the vintage. Besides, it is a poor wine merchant who would drink up his own wares.
The signs are there.
Drink.
Whoa, that scared me. Oh wow, I knew it. What will they do with him? I'm fearing the worst. Trying to assassinate the Khaleesi. I love their black uniforms.
You begin anew.
Making good use of people. People are resources. Do you know who said that?
Samwell to the stewards, Makar to the rangers, Darion to the stewards.
Darion. That would be my name in that world. Pretty close to my actual name.
John to the stewards, Rancer to the builder, Michiel to the builders.
Oh, he did not like that. He wanted to be a ranger, not a steward. What is going on? Why did that dude smile? Was that his plan? Making John a steward for some reason? Instead of a ranger? I wonder if it was out of goodwill or just to F with him. Has it anything to do with that situation between Ned and Jorah?
Could you sing me a song, Pip? I'd like to hear a song.
What? That was pretty random, but okay.
He wants to groom you for command.
That's a nice way of looking at things.
To be a ranger. I always wanted to be a wizard. My Lord Protector.
What's with the irony? It came across that way.
The king has no true-born sons.
So, when the king dies...
The throne passes to his brother.
I don't think it will go that way though.
You would be wise to deny it to him, and to make sure Joffrey succeeds. Make peace with the Lannisters. We've plenty of time to get rid of Stannis, and if Joffrey seems likely to cause problems when he comes into his throne, we simply reveal his little secret and seat Lord Renly there instead.
What's the problem with Stannis? Is he that bad?
What you suggest is treason.
Only if we lose.
True, but I don't know.
We only make peace with our enemies, my lord. That's why it's called making peace.
No.
That was a good quote once again.
So it will be
Something to use in the future.
There is no other choice.
When the queen proclaims one king and the hand proclaims another, whose peace do the gold cloaks protect?
Ned, I think it might be time to be a bit sneaky.
The man who pays them.
Lord Baelish is quite smart, so I would at least consider it, but I don't know anything about Stannis, so I can't say too much, or make any extreme judgments.
I am the watcher on the walls.
The Watcher of the Walls, and so are we, all of us. Not of the wall. We'll have to figure that out.
To me, Ghost. Bring it here.
Ghost, nice name. A hand. Better not be Uncle Benjen.
King Robert still wants me dead.
Realistically, you hold the same ambition as your brother.
He will not have my son.
He will not have you either, Khaleesi.
Jorah seems pretty loyal to the Targaryens, for some reason. Moon of my life instead of sun. Chandra Vansha. And that's where it all began. Ugh, stop spitting. Okay, I guess. First you have to learn how to cross the sea.
Is Lord Renly joining us?
I fear Lord Renly has left the city.
I don't know, something is going on. They are not following the plan. Just don't stab him in the back.
Hail His Grace, Joffrey of houses Baratheon and Lannister.
Really? They were quick. Just assuming that Joffrey would be the king.
Your son has no claim to the throne.
Liar!
You condemn yourself with your own mouth, Lord Stark.
Kill him! Kill all of them, I command it!
And the dictatorship begins. The civil war is about to begin.
I did warn you not to trust me.
Man, really? Lord Baelish? Oh, come on. I liked you. Oh my god. Man, I can't believe that. This episode has made me even more paranoid. I won't be able to trust anyone. How did you people watch this? Really, Baelish? You're siding with Joffrey? Or do you have something greater in mind? I don't know if I should give you the benefit of the doubt. This game, called Game of Thrones, does not go well with honor. That's for sure. Well, anyway, let's talk about the episode. It began with an interesting conversation with Jaime and who I assume is Tywin Lannister. They did not look bothered at all by the order from Ned. The Lannisters are a confident bunch. I really look forward to the day they will fall. Can't stand them currently, except for Tyrion. But I feel like I really need to rewatch this episode. There were so many things and subtleties that I believe will come into play later on. Let's talk about the plot and setup of the episode. So the struggle for the throne was pretty short. It began in this episode and ended in the same. Ned chose the honorable path and lost. Again, the Lannisters know how to play the game. That's what it comes down to. They're willing to do whatever it takes. As viewers, we just learned how cruel this world is. There are very few good people at the top, just like our world. If you think about it, did it never occur to Ned that sometimes you have to accept the conditions you are given and regroup and then come back at a later time when things are on your side? Because this was a total failure. I will miss Robert. He was a fun character. His jokes always had me laughing. I wonder who will replace him as the funny guy. Maybe Sam. He's also quite funny. Unintentionally funny. But Ned was pretty naive in this episode. I feel for him. But he's totally alone in enemy territory. From the day he stepped into the capital, he's been alone. The situation seems hopeless for him. And overall, I lost respect for many characters in this episode, except for Ned and Jaime, strangely enough. Oh, and also Jorah and Snow and Sam. They're still great. Also, Uncle Benjen better not be dead. Honestly, that hand better not be his. This was the most difficult episode to keep up with. So much to look out for. Very hard to react to, as one has to keep up with the dialogue and the expressions of every character, because they are always giving some strange eyes to each other. And I know that everything has a meaning in this show. I loved it a lot though. I really like it when I have to use my brain when I watch something or read something, and what I love even more is when I get surprised, as in this episode. Who would have thought that Lord Baelish would be the one to betray Ned? I couldn't see that coming. This was almost a 10 out of 10 episode, easily a 9 out of 10. I wanna rewatch it immediately. So what was my favorite scene in this episode? Probably the ending scene, as it was such a shocker to me, and even though it felt like a big defeat for me as a Ned fan. But of course, it's what to be expected. Things would never go that smoothly, not in a show like this. Ned was never going to win, choosing to take the honorable path. I don't know if he forgets that he's surrounded by power-hungry psychos. His journey to King's Landing was destined to fail. But I was right about Joffrey being inbred, the child of Jaime and the Queen. So there's at least something I got correct. I also noticed that Jorah behaved quite strangely sometimes. On some occasions, he looked like he was about to betray Daenerys, and on other, he showed his loyalty. Maybe he's trying to get even closer to her, earning her trust even more. That would be smart actually, if he's on the side of the kingdom. How about any questions and theories for the next episode, or for the future? I guess the mountain is free, and so is Tywin, now that Joffrey is king. But I wonder what the destiny of the Starks is. Are they done as the rulers of the north? It kinda looks like it. We know that the Lannisters hate the Starks, and they're not very merciful. You could just see the anger on Joffrey's face. He is not a kind person. And what's Lord Baelish's goal? There must be more to it. He's starting to look like a very selfish person. I'm thinking, how will all this benefit him? There must be something greater he's after. But right now, I have no idea what. I'll have to think about it, and I really have no clue who Ned can rely upon. The future looks very dark for him and his kin. You know what I would do? Abandon the wall. Let's find out how Joffrey would deal with that. He'd have his hands full, especially with the Dothraki coming from the east. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to join me on my adventure here. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I truly appreciate it. Take care, and see you next time.